Hey guys, saying it's your boy here, and today what I've got for you is the Formula E Mexican EPrix for you guys. And yeah, that's all I got, so let's get right into this video. So yeah, Formula E went to Mexico City for the first time in its history. The track looked really nice from its Formula 1 race a few months ago, looking nice and clean. The layout looked quite nice. I enjoyed the layout. It was quite nice and technical. So yeah. For practice, a lot of the drivers went out to do their installation laps and also to do their laps to get sort of accustomed to the new track, as it was like a brand new sort of track to Formula E. A lot of quick times being set. And there were a bit of issues going on, particularly with the Andretti car of Simone Di Silvestro. Her car having a bit of issues. Apparently she had like this battery management, whatever. Her car just gave up on her, and that was it. So yeah. But nonetheless, the Renault of Nicolas Prost and I think Sebastian Buemi set the fastest times, so they looked ones to watch. Of course, going into qualifying. Moving into qualifying, we saw Jean-Eric Vergne in the first session go fastest. He set like a 103 something, which would then put him in 6th place, which would unfortunately put him outside the top 5 for Super Pole. So that was a bit unfortunate. We also saw a bit of a spin from Bruno Senna. He lost the rear, hit the wall, and that was pretty much game over for him. He would be starting from pretty much the back of the grid, so yeah. Then going into Group 2, we saw a bit of gamesmanship going on between Sebastian Buemi and Lucas Grassi, the two championship contenders, both sort of slowing each other up. So I don't know what was all that about, to be honest. Probably trying to make the other one a bit distracted or whatever, or just trying to get in front of one another so that they can block them. I mean, personally, just get your laps done, you know, may the best man win, that kind of stuff, so yeah. But nonetheless, Grassi went third. He went third overall, which put him swiftly into Super Pole. But it was Sebastian Buemi who went fastest in the early part of the session, going fastest overall, which put him into Super Pole. But and then afterwards, in the 5th and final qualifying session, well, basically, by the way, second and 4th weren't that very interesting. Not much really went on. So yeah, so moving on to the 5th, there was a big accident, and that was Nelson Piquet, who was going on to his lap, had a bit of an issue, locked up his brakes, and hit the wall. And yeah, that was it for him. He would start from the back of the grid, so unfortunate for him. So as a result, there was a red flag so that they can sort of fix the Techco barriers in time for the session to be restarted. So yeah, so the session was restarted, and a lot of the drivers went out, tried to set good lap times. Bird was on a good one, but unfortunately he just kind of lost it on the 2nd and 3rd sector, which would put him into 11th place on the grid. So yeah. So moving into Super Pole, all the drivers went out to try and get pole position. First man to do it was D'Ambrosio. He went fastest over Loic Duval from behind. He went like 5th, I believe it was, yeah. Oh wait, it was Daniel Abt. Yeah, Daniel Abt went behind. Loic Duval didn't get into Super Poles. Buemi, Prost, De Grassi, Abt, and D'Ambrosio. Sorry about that one. But yeah, D'Ambrosio went fastest along with Abt behind, but then was Lucas De Grassi who went 2nd fastest. Couldn't beat D'Ambrosio. But Buemi was on a really good one, but unfortunately had a bit of oversteer moments, and as a result lost out to pole position and had to settle for 3rd place, which meant that D'Ambrosio would start on pole position for the Mexican EPrix. So yeah, a good pole position by D'Ambrosio. Had a really nice lap, no mistakes whatsoever, and put it on pole. Nice job by him. So moving into the race, it was a good start from D'Ambrosio. He got a really good start off the line. Got into the first corner ahead of Di Grassi in second, and then the two Renaults behind. So a very clean start. Bit of a couple of cars in the back there, cutting the chicane on the first lap there. So yeah, but that's to expect. Especially as the field was very tightly packed on the first lap. And then afterwards, we saw them really just sort of go in single file pretty much for the majority, well pretty much for the first half of the race, to be honest. You know, a lot of the guys really just being patient on one another, waiting for each other to make a mistake, until we saw Lucas Di Grassi make a brilliant pass on well actually he was behind Buemi, he was behind Buemi, and then made a great pass on Buemi to take second place off the Swiss driver. And then as they came out of the pits, apparently Prost had a unsafe release which gave him a penalty, so unfortunate for him there. He was very angry on the radio for that. But in my opinion, you know, and rightly so to be honest, because that was kind of a bit harsh, I would say, from the FIA, to be honest, because it didn't look like he was doing anything dangerous or impeding anyone or doing stuff like that. It was very fair, and this stuff is going to happen, especially as they were closely packed together going into the pits. So yeah. So afterwards, we saw Di Grassi make a brilliant pass. I think it was going into the stadium section. Made a brilliant pass around, I think it was in the stadium section, to take the lead of the race from D'Ambrosio. Great move from Di Grassi there. And really afterwards, Di Grassi really pulled away from the field. He pulled like a 10-second gap from D'Ambrosio behind in second place. So really, Di Grassi really showcasing the pace of that Apt car. So yeah. But then afterwards, it was hotting up between Buemi and Di Grassi. Both of them really going at it, hammer and tong. Buemi getting really angry on the radio, saying that Di Grassi was impeding him. Di Grassi was blocking him too much, and he even got to the point that Buemi ran into the back of Di Grassi, and that broke a bit of Di Grassi's rear end. But thankfully he was able to. But thankfully it didn't ruin his speed from Di Grassi, so he was able to keep going. And then it carried on until Buemi made a move down on the inside going into the chicane, and then cutted the corner to overtake Di Grassi on the chicane part. And as a result, Buemi had to let Di Grassi through. Di Grassi was very annoyed by that, saying like, he's an idiot, like he has to let me through, that kind of stuff. So Buemi slowed up, and what was interesting was that Buemi was slowing down on the inside. Now it was very weird, to be honest, because you would have thought, oh, go on the outside, let him go on the outside, that kind of stuff. But no, he lets him go on the he lets him go on the inside, which was very strange. And as a result, Di Grassi had to cut the chicane to get that position back, which he did. Well, he was behind, but then he got ahead. I think it was on the straight. So yeah, very confusing. And as a result, as it was going on, a lot of the guys behind, there were about 3 or 4 of them, really close behind. So really was becoming a little bit of a traffic jam, and almost we had a bit of a collision from the guys behind who were being stacked behind D'Ambrosio and Buemi, who Buemi was trying to let Di Grassi through because of that. So yeah. But in the end, Buemi couldn't do anything about Di Grassi. As a result, Di Grassi got second place. And Buemi was very annoyed in the end. He was really furious in the interviews. He was very annoyed, saying like, oh, Di Grassi's an idiot, oh, Di Grassi shouldn't be doing stuff like that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I think in my opinion, Di Grassi had every right to be where he was during the race. There was no like intentional blocks or second manoeuvres, that kind of stuff. It was all fair racing, and I think Buemi was just so frustrated with the fact that he couldn't get by D'Ambrosio and Degrassi could, because Degrassi was Blaney's championship rival, and now the fact that Degrassi is now taking the win. Yeah, by the way, Degrassi won the race. Fantastic win by him. The fact now that Degrassi has taken over the lead really annoyed him to a degree. So yeah, but he's got to remember there are so many rounds to go. There's so much time left for Blaney to retake the lead and hopefully win the championship for him. So yeah, so he's got to think about the long he's got to think about the long game after this. So yeah, instead of just like ranting about a simple like fair move or something like that. So yeah, like I said, Degrassi won the race in the end. It was a fantastic race. Degrassi had a really controlled race, timed his moves to perfection, and came up the top dog. So yeah, fantastic win by Degrassi, and as a result takes over the lead of the championship. So yeah. Second place, like I said, was D'Ambrosio. Third was Buemi. Fourth was Prost. Fourth was I don't know, but I know the top three. So yeah, yeah. Oh, by the way, Apt was running fourth, but had a bit of an issue. He crashed into the wall. So yeah, his chances of getting onto the podium was pretty much over because he finished in like 8th place. So yeah, unfortunate for Apt. It would be nice to see Apt up there challenging maybe for a podium, but unfortunately 8th place. So yeah, hopefully he will improve for the next race in Long Beach in 3 weeks time. So yeah. So that's it for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, hit that like button below, subscribe to me, so guys, with your boy, I'm out. Peace.